That's why I say stay in your day job. It's the best thing ever. Stay in your day job. And people say, but oh, you got a restaurant. If I could pull myself back, I probably wouldn't do it. And you're like, what do you mean? I wouldn't do it. There's too many variables when it comes to a restaurant. So when you get to the door, if you feel you weren't greeted properly, you could get vexed. I might sit you next to the table where it's loud. So you might have come on a date, or you might be with your mum. Or say you're a group of 50-year-olds who just want a quiet night out. I might have sat you next to a birthday table of maybe 25-year-olds who are making noise. There's so much sciences behind restaurants. So even when I'm looking at the bookings, I'm clocking to see the ages and see who's booked. Because if I know that I've got maybe a age group of maybe a table of 2 who's 50, I look at the name. You know those old names like Dorothy and Agnes? So if I look in the booking system and I see a Dorothy and Agnes, I'm like, these lot seem old. So I might put them into let me not say old, sorry, matured. I might put Dorothy and Agnes in this corner over here, and I'll put the 25-year-olds who are having a birthday over there, so that when they're making noise over there, they can't hear them there. But look at the mistake I might have made now. The speakers are right underneath there. So now I've got to say to myself, the music's going to be a bit loud. I can't put Dorothy and Agnes under the speakers, so maybe I've got to move them over there. So there's so much different things that go into it. Now I've seated you down now. I might have sat you underneath the aircon. You might say to me, oh, hi, it's a bit cold over here, but it's actually hot outside. So someone's got to sit under there. But now I've seated you there, it's upset your evening. I might have sat you next to, I don't know, that table by the mirror. You might say, oh, it's too close to the toilet. The toilets never smell at Sion, but you're going to complain your next. There's too many things involved. It's constant customer service. Even when it's time to get you up from the table. Tables are 2 hours here. Even when you book, it says 2 hours. If you book the table, I'll give you a mad story. That table right behind there, customer came in, they booked the table from 5 to 7. They were 30 minutes late. I said, no problem. We'll still seat you. I need your money. So you sat them down now. So obviously, they had a table from 5 to 7. So at 6:50, was it 6:55? It was either 6:50 or 6:55. I brought them the bill. Hey, the lady to me. Hi, we've got, yes, that was it. It was 10 minutes left. She goes, hi, we've got 10 minutes left to our table. Why have we brought the bill? So I said to them, at what point would you say I should bring the bill? Hera, that's for you to figure out. I said, God is testing me today. You know, like, have you ever watched a film where they kind of like, where something happens, it doesn't really happen? So where, like, for instance, say someone's angry and they get like a hammer and knife and start stabbing and hitting somebody, and all of a sudden they wake up and it was a dream. In my dream, I lifted that table. I lifted the whole table up. But you know, because of TripAdvisor and Trustpilot and, you know, Google, you have to be nice. So she said to me, that's for you to figure out. So that day I walked out. I just walked out on the road. I just walked. I just took some fresh air. I just took some fresh air, because you can't. When them things happen, what do? And that's part of, it's constant customer service. And because of reviews now, you've got to try your best to be as nice to customers as possible. When it wasn't Google and TripAdvisor, you just dash drink on someone by accident and just say, oh, sorry about that. The drinks are spilt on them. But with customers like that, what do? It's constant customer service. But yeah, we're going to go to our Pornstar Martini, which is made with vanilla vodka. We use Passoa, which is a passion fruit liqueur. Okay, let me just get my vodka. Where are we? All right, got my vodka. Okay, and now we're going to do our vanilla syrup. And then we've got our passion fruit puree. So what we do with our Pornstar Martini, once again, I'm going to talk you through the apparatus that we use. I should have told you from the beginning. This is called a muddler. It's what we usually use to, like, when we're making mojitos, to muddle our fruits, etc. This is a Boston shaker, which we put in our tin to shake our cocktails. And as you can imagine, if it's a Boston shaker, it came from a state in America called Boston. This is called a jigger. It's what we use to measure our weights when it comes to spirits. If you go to a bar and you ask for a single, it should come on this side. A double being 50 ml should come inside here. And this is our champagne saucer. No, not champagne saucer. What's this called again? A coupe, sorry, a coupe glass. So yeah, so I'm gonna literally make our Pornstar Martini for you. So typically how we do it here is we use 40 vanilla vodka. Okay. We then use 30 of our Passoa. All right, we then use 25, no, let's say 30 of our passion fruit puree. And then we then put 20 of our vanilla syrup. Now, some people actually add lemon juice into it to balance it out. Now, I'm on the fence of it. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, but on this occasion, I'm not, because I don't like to put that in there, because the passion fruit is pretty bitter as it is anyway. So what we're gonna do now is shake our cocktail. And the reason why we shake our cocktails, anyone know? It's to balance out our ingredients and to dilute at the same time as to mix them all together. And that's why we put, and also obviously the ice in there being shook is going to make our cocktail colder. So typically with our Pornstar Martini, you should double strain or fine strain it. So that's what we're going to do with this. Let me find my strainer. All right. And don't forget, we're still going to put our Prosecco. Okay, then we're going to place our passion fruit. Where's our passion fruit on? Okay, on the top. And last but not least, we're going to get our shot of Prosecco. Where's my Prosecco? Now, the typical way to hold a champagne bottle or Prosecco bottle is to literally put your thumb in the dimple and pour like so. And there's our Pornstar Martini, made by Douglas Ancra. Once again, rest in peace to Douglas Ancra. So that's our Pornstar Martini, which is gonna go over here. So yeah, so with the restaurant game, I wouldn't advise anyone who hasn't got thick skin to get involved, because you're gonna end up telling people to go and meet their mums with a straw. So you're not gonna wanna do that. So I'd say if you're not really tough skinned, stay away from it. And also with business, as I always mention, it's important to know the nicks and crooks. So when I opened Birmingham, I wasn't aware of what business rates were. Like literally, I just had money and opened a restaurant. That's why I say it's not rocket science. I'm not any smarter than you. I just thought to myself that if I'm bringing people to someone else's event, that I could do it. And that's exactly what happened. So I would always say to you, it's very, very important to do your research. Business rates, very important. You can research them on the Gov website to see exactly how much you have to pay. When I opened Birmingham, I didn't even know what business rates was. So literally, I got a letter through the post to pay some business rates from the council. I just thought it's like something you can just ignore. You know what I mean? Like, you know when like your missus or your girl might text you and it's like a long message, you just put okay at the end. You know, you just skim read. So I just skim read it. Especially, you know when you get that message from the girl, you just read the first line, you read the bottom line. Because you know the first line is going to tell you what the problem is and the bottom is the resolution usually. So just read the top. You didn't call me on Friday. The bottom part, make sure you call me. So everything in between is just pointless, isn't it? So I read the business rates thing. I saw the first bit, I saw the bottom. I thought, let me ignore that. So 2-3 months later, I remember I opened in what? April. So, and I took the building over November 2015. So by December, that had been technically a whole year I'd not paid business rate. So one day now, I've gone to the restaurant, innit, to basically open. So first of all, I saw a letter through the post. No, there's a letter through the post at first, and I ignored it. So then I got a call from the bailiffs. So, hello, Mr. A.O. Joe, how you doing, mate? I said, who's this? Still in the so-and-so enforcement agent. I said, what are you doing right there? He goes, yeah, mate, you owe Samuel Council some money. I said, you're kidding, mate. What for? For your business rates. I said, I hung up on them. They called me back. Listen, mate, we're outside your shop now. We know what time you open. You're going to come here at some point, mate. It's not a house. This is a shop. We can see your opening hours. You open on Wednesday. I said, Jesus. So I thought maybe they were just pulling my bluff. So I pulled up now to the restaurant. I can see the white van there. I said, Jesus. I got to the door. So as I got to the door, 2 of them henchmen jumped out. Hello, mate. Told you we'll catch ya. I said, what's up? He goes, yeah. So either you pay the £9,000 now or we start collecting goods. I said, what? He goes, mate, listen, you got customers coming in 1 hour. What do you want? Do you want to pay the money? I goes, can I pay in bits and pieces? He goes, no, mate, it's gone past that point. It's either we take the £9,000 now or you won't be shaking any cocktails. I said, Jesus Christ. And that was in December. That's why I had to pay them £9,000 in one go. So check up on your business rates. Very, very important.